Hi everyone, welcome back to Sunday Leeds Champions League. Chris here, aka Big Will, and today we have two league games for you against FC Halifax and Cheltenham Town. Since you were last with us, our form has continued to be pretty poor, to be honest, and we continue to slide down the table. For some reason, the fixtures aren't showing up here, so bear with me a second. I'll see if I can get them to come through in a more proper fashion. Nope, it's not happening. Um, I don't know why it's not working properly, but it does happen this occasionally, and I'm not entirely sure why. We'll get there at some point, I'm sure. It's loaded a few of them, but that's about it. See if we can go into something, then come back again. Nope, still not working. Well, anyway, our form has been pretty poor, to be honest. It's not ideal, and as such, we have dropped to 12th place now in the National League. The promotion fight is pretty much over. I can't see us in these last number of matches getting onto a good winning run. We've even lost to Truro, who have, and that was only their third win of the season as well. So we've been very, very poor. Halifax are in 23rd. They're not much better off than Truro. But with the way that we're playing at the minute, I am very, very concerned that we may be in it's pretty much free fall at this point. And again, this is actually quite irritating, to be honest. We've had a couple of okay results, a few draws here and there as well. Um, but yeah, for the most part, we've just not managed to get ourselves going. Um, we drew against Gateshead as well, who were in the relegation zone. We're just really struggling to find any kind of winning form. We had one really good win, which was 4-1. But again, aside from that, we've had nothing to show for it. We've rotated a lot more in recent weeks as well, just because we've not been able to maintain fitness in the squad, and it's it's a big concern. There's just nothing happening in our favour. Weston and Parker aren't scoring goals. Blackwell's managed to score a couple, but morale is teetering, is the best term I can use for it. We just can't get ourselves going at the minute. And unfortunately, everybody is in poor form, not just a select one or two players. So it's it's not ideal, that is for sure. And at the moment, I'm not too sure what the answer is either. As you can see, Killian Bruder's going to be leaving. He's going to be playing back in Ireland soon. Come the end of the season, he will be leaving. And the board, at long last, have agreed to send me on a coaching course, which I don't really understand it. We're in the worst form, realistically, since our first season in charge. And now they've decided to help me with the coaching badge. Our coach, Phil Jagielka, you may know the name, of course, former Premier League and Championship player. Um, we have sacked him as coach, and we have brought in a coach by the name of Dean Martin, who has certainly got a lot more pedigree in his coaching ability. And hopefully, the improvement in our coaching will lead to an improvement in some performances. But at the moment, I'm not too hopeful. But this is the kind of game that we need to just try and turn our fortunes. As Parker puts the ball into the penalty area, and Tony, sorry, couldn't quite get his head onto it as Palmer picks it up, finds Charlie, plays it over the top. Emerson at the far post, swings it in. Hugh Parker off the crossbar. Emerson back in, off the post, but it's gone out for a goal kick, I think, in the end. And that's a really positive start, but again, we just can't seem to score at the moment. We've scored the odd goal in a couple of draws, but other than that, it has been very abject from our perspective. We've just not been at it at all. And I think realistically, the number of former League Two teams in this division that are professional clubs, I think that has made the difference in the end, to be honest, because they're training full time. And let's be honest, if they're training full time, their fitness is going to be better and so on and so forth. So It's a difficult situation. Hugh Parker strikes a free kick and he's hit the woodwork for the second time. In fact, he hasn't. The goalkeeper, Sam Johnson, made a phenomenal save. And I mean, they're playing with a flat back seven. They're rooted into the relegation zone. And yet their keeper is having an absolute stormer. In terms of form, we're probably one of the worst in the league at the moment. Just need to find a way of breaking that momentum. I mean, we look at the way that we're playing at the minute. I mean, every single stat that I'm looking at right now, we are better than Halifax on the day, but we just can't seem to score at the moment. It's been a very frustrating spell for us as Emerson swings it into that near post. It's cleared away comfortably by Hastings, and now Palmer picks it up. Can he get it across? Yes, he can. And at last, we've managed to get a goal from one of our centre forwards, Hugh Parker. I mean, if it had missed from a yard out, I'd have just, I mean, I'd have resigned on the spot, to be quite honest. It was a shocking bit of, I mean, the initial clearance was quite good, but it was a shocking bit of defending. Palmer with the run, and they just left Parker free in the penalty area, and we finally managed to find the back of the net, and hopefully we can build on that. The previous game against Southend, we lost by 3 goals to 2. So we did manage to get a couple of goals in that game, and we were 2-0 up. It was a big, big defeat from our perspective, realistically. Um, but obviously, we've just improved our coaching as well. So hopefully that might start to turn our fortunes a little bit as Palmer gets onto it, plays it across, and Hugh Parker has scored again, and Palmer has assisted again, and finally, finally, we're seeing some goals from our striker. And I mean, he started the season like an express train, didn't he, Hugh Parker? And he's had such a tough run of games. He's just not been able to get going. Blackwell's come in the team. He's managed a couple of goals, but nothing special. Eson came in the team. Again, he scored a couple of goals. All of them were offside. So he's been unlucky with games as well. Stockley, he actually scored in that 4-1 win that I mentioned earlier as well. But again, he's not really ever broke into the team properly. Tony into Emerson now. Lindsay coming down the left-hand side. Chance to get it into the penalty area. He's got support there. Hugh Parker is there, and Rose beats him to it. He's got to be a little bit more aggressive in situations like that, I think, Hugh Parker, because he definitely had the opportunity there as Lemony Evans does pick that one up and just lays it across to Bruder. Back to Lemony Evans. And now Lindsay. And again, we've at times we've suffered with the result, but we've played some really good football, and we've been the better team in some of the matches as well. But it means nothing if you can't put the ball in the back of the net. Massey into Blaze. It's taken a massive deflection off Cower, and Halifax almost got themselves back into it. But this could be a huge opportunity for us just to try and stem the flow a little bit and get 3 points on the board. And Bruder into Charlie. And now Bakari. We're just knocking the ball about at the back at the moment. And Palmer now. Certainly been the creative spark that we've been lacking recently. Lemony Evans into Charlie. Now Hugh Parker dropping deep to get onto the ball. Makes the run forward as Dembele picks it up. He's got Palmer ahead of him if he can find him. He's had to head that Palmer. It was a poor pass from Dembele, but Charlie into Parker again. Lemony Evans into Charlie. Lemony Evans. Charlie into Dembele, coming down the right-hand side, plays it forward, and again, Palmer just didn't read it, and Johnson, the goalkeeper, gets it clear, but Dembele again knocking it forward. Palmer this time gets the ball to feet, chance to play it across. He's played it to Charlie Weston, and Palmer with a hat-trick of assists now, and you wouldn't think that we hadn't won a game in 5 or 6 matches, would you? But this is a fantastic performance. And I thought Palmer, it had been a carbon copy of the other 2 goals, just playing it to Hugh Parker's feet there in the centre of the box. But instead, he played it back to Charlie Weston, and we make it 3. And finally, it looks like we're going to get another 3 points on the board. We've really, really struggled, but this is going to be a bit of a welcome relief from my perspective. Because incidentally, since a couple of episodes ago, we've not actually had another contract offer come in from the board. but at last we've got the coaching course, so I'm not too concerned about signing an extended contract at the moment. Um, I think now that the board have shown signs that they are willing to let me progress a little bit, I think the sale of Chris Crooks has probably helped 'cause it's brought a little bit of money into the club as well. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting scenario to play out. We did get offered a job interview actually recently from Chester in the National League North. We didn't entertain it. Obviously, it is a step back, and it was just after the board agreed to give me that coaching course. As Blaze manages to convert for Halifax at the start of the second half, defensively frail again, very poor. Um, as Hayes Green played it into De Oliveira Cower and De Oliveira exchanging passes, and the strike took a big deflection off the defender and Blaze. First time, Cooney couldn't save himself. He got a slight touch, to be fair, but he couldn't keep it out. Um, sorry, yeah, the Chester job interview was offered just after the board decided that they would give me a coaching course. So in the end, we just ultimately refused it. We didn't even go to the interviews. Bakare tries to knock it long, and again, we're doing our best to throw this away here. And De Oliveira into Cower, who gets the strike away, and Cooney makes a very good save. But again, this is what I'm talking about. We've dominated the game, and all of a sudden we just completely switch off. And Halifax will probably can think to themselves that they've got an opportunity here. This is certainly not good enough from our perspective in this second half. We need to be picking this up. We need these 3 points. With half an hour to go, we're going to get some fresh legs on because, again, I'm a little bit concerned that we're just not maintaining ourselves at the moment. We're going to get Blackwell on for Weston, for Tony, should I say. Raggett is going to come on for Bakare. Um, Cooney's complacency, that doesn't help either. We've got a complacent goalkeeper when we're in the worst run of form of the season. Yestin is going to come on for Dembele. And Pavey can come on as well for Emerson. And we'll leave it at that for now. We've got 1 or 2 options on the bench still, but we will leave it at that for now. And just try and see the game out a little bit more. But I mean, you look at those match stats. I mean, Halifax, technically, they're winning in the second half with that goal. And despite the number of attempts at goal and such, we've not really seen anything too positive from our lads in this second half. Here's Yestin Hughes, launches it over the top. Hugh Parker couldn't get onto it. And again, he's not been particularly good as an aerial presence today, Hugh Parker. That left back Rose keeps getting in on him. And that was a big chance for Blaze. It was almost 3-2. And again, we've got to be careful. And the thing is, I would drop back to like a balanced mentality or even defensive, but I don't want to invite teams onto us either. We're creating chances. We just need to be more clinical at times. Hugh Parker with the delivery, looking for Bruder, is cleared away. Palmer picks it up, plays it into Hugh Parker, cuts into the penalty area, finds Charlie, and offside. Again, simple little mistakes like that. It's quite poor from our perspective. We need to be a lot more focused going forward. And when we were winning games comfortably and had a good run of results, I mean, we couldn't do anything wrong. And now it's quite rare that we're doing things right. And Massey coming down the left-hand side, swings it into the far post, and right is free. And I mean, Cooney's positioning was awful, to be quite honest. And to be fair, the finish was shocking, luckily from our perspective. But I mean, we've conceded quite a few chances today as well. We've deserved to win the game. Don't get me wrong, we do deserve to win the game. But that second half performance again, it's not ideal. First half we did really well. We got the 3 goals in 10 minutes, 3 assists for Palmer. But then earlier in the season, we would have built on that until the lads at the second half wasn't good enough because it wasn't realistically. But we have managed to get the win, and I don't think it's going to push us up the table an awful lot. Well, to be fair, it does. It's pushed us up to 10th. I mean, we're 8 points behind the playoff places at the moment. I highly doubt, considering the nature of the fixtures that we've got coming up, I highly doubt we're going to make it into those playoffs now. certainly a lot of work to do, but Palmer with a brilliant creative performance from him. Hopefully, it's something he can build on as well with a bit of a run in the team. And again, it will give us something to build on. I'll just double check the fixtures again just to see if they've actually come through properly this time. Yes, they have. So, of course, we lost against Eastleigh. We then lost against bottom side Truro. It was only their third win of the season. The 4-1 win was at home to Barnet, who actually beat us earlier in the campaign. A 1-0 defeat to Solihull. 1-1 against Macclesfield. 0-0 against relegation threatened Gateshead. 1-0 defeat against Yeovil. 3-2 away at Southend. And then finally, we've managed to get another win on the board after 5 games without a win. And then we go into the game against Cheltenham next up. It's in a week's time, and I will come back for that one momentarily. But I'm looking at those fixtures leading up to the end of the season. I'm not too hopeful. If we're to put a big push in for the playoffs, it's going to be a tough ask. But who knows? The team may just suddenly remember that they could beat these teams earlier in the season. But yeah, Cheltenham to come. Let's hope we can get another win. Okay then guys, here we go for the game away against Cheltenham. That win against Halifax has just boosted us up to 11th place for the moment. We have got a game in hand on one or two of the teams as things stand. If we do win, we will go 5 points behind the playoff place of Rochdale and just a 1 point behind 8th place Boston, who of course, when it comes down to it, we play them toward the end of the season. But when you're looking at the running for us at the end of the season, we've got to play Rochdale. We've got to play Morecambe. Boston is in there as well. Sutton are actually having a tough time at the moment. So, it's yeah, it's just going to be a really difficult running, and I doubt we'll make the playoffs. But mathematically, it's still a possibility. But we have to win today. Cooney is on international duty with the Republic of Ireland under 21s. So Crook gets an opportunity in goal. And again, I don't mind Blackwell playing, but at the moment, we need to be putting as good a team out as we possibly can. And I can't imagine that fitness concerns are so bad considering they've had a week of rest. So we'll go into this game today. Simply hoping we can get the 3 points on the board. It was a good performance overall against Halifax, but the second half performance wasn't ideal. I've just noticed they've got Jed Steering goal, former goalkeeper at Norwich, if I remember correctly. Will Dixon, if that's the same as the Will Dixon that I'm thinking of as well. He's come through City's youth academy. Some really good players in some of these teams, and yet we have to try and compete against them. Um, so, yeah, difficult times, but let's see if we can get a result today. It's going to be a very tough game, this one, and I'm not too hopeful, but we'll see how we get on. I mean, to be fair, earlier in the season, we beat them, I think it was 5-2, before we hit that massive run of games where we just completely capitulated and we've not really recovered from it since. And so, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how we get on. Here is Milona into Miller, plays it over the top. And I mean, what is Bruder doing? I mean, is he got sent off? No, he's got a yellow card. I mean, that's quite fortunate, really. I don't think we've actually had a red card in the series so far, from what I can remember. We may have done. My memory isn't that good, unfortunately. And Miller, with the penalty, comfortably scores. And again, pathetic error defensively has led us with what initially was already going to be a mountain to climb. The fella we've got a goal behind after 3 minutes is very, very much a bigger mountain to climb now, isn't it? And Bruder with a very stupid mistake. I mean, why he didn't track the run even, I've no idea. Absolutely shocking defensively. And there's a reason that he's going back to Ireland at the end of the season. And yeah, not ideal. I think, to be honest, if we lose this game, considering the nature of the fixtures that we've got to come, it's going to be mid-table obscurity, to be honest. And obviously, we've got Boston and Woking at the end of the season. Obviously, the two games that we had a couple of episodes ago as well. There'll be nothing games, realistically. But yeah, I think might change things up a little bit, ready for next season, but we'll have to see what happens. Bakari with the header, easily picked up by the midfielder, and Miller plays it to Brooks, and now Guy into Miller, and they're completely all over us here. And Will Dixon has made it two, and apparently shouts are going to be coming back into the game at some point. And my word, do we need them here? We need to be absolutely ripping into the team at the moment. And again, it's Bruder that's been caught out. You know what? I don't even care. It's only been half an hour. Bruder's coming off. And we're getting Raggett on. He got caught out for the penalty, and he could have, if he'd have really had a good go, he could have intercepted that there as well. It doesn't help that Crook's not had a lot of game time this season in goal, but at the minute, this is, again, is looking very abject from our perspective. And I think, to be honest, our season realistically is going to be done now as Wheeler Henry charges down the right hand side. And we're not even getting close to them. Will Dixon into Milona, and it's 3. My God, this is absolute massacre, isn't it? We're not showing any oomph at all. I mean, the defensive line has gone so deep there, and I can't understand why, because we've not even got that team instruction on to have the defensive line that deep. And they dropped it so deep that they were level with the goalkeeper who was pretty much stood on his line. Also, I've just noticed that Bakare is wearing a goalkeeper shirt in the in the formation thing on this right hand side. I don't know what's happened there. Don't tell me he's actually playing in goal. No wonder we're 3-0 down. But I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, there's not really an awful lot I can say about that, is there? I just hope the second half's going to be a little bit better, but I think we've just gonna we're just gonna have to take our medicine here. I mean, considering some of the quality that Cheltenham have got in their team, the fact that they're only in ninth place in the league is quite a surprise, to be honest. I'd have expected them to be higher up as Williams gets in behind and Crook does make a decent save there to tip it over the crossbar. Um, but he's not getting an awful lot of help from our defence, is he? I mean, the midfield, there's not really a lot different in our midfield at the moment. I mean, Emerson's had an absolutely shocking game. He's rated less than a 6 now. We're just going to get the youngsters on, players that actually want to be playing for the club at the moment. And yeah, we'll just see what happens with that. Yestin can come on at right back as well. Um, Lindsay is having a shocking game as well. Lemony Evans can come on for him. And I think, to be quite honest, we're just going to put Lemony Evans at left back. I mean, what have we got to lose at this point? Seriously. Get that creative kind of play on that left-hand side, just see what happens, isn't it, really? Far too many poor performances again. And even our new coach can't help matters at the moment. We just cannot build our confidence at the minute. And I've got a feeling it's going to get worse before the season's over. Yeah, not really sure what to say on the matter, to be honest. Very, very difficult situation to be in. Tactically, we could change things up, but when we've tried other tactics in season 1, if you remember, nothing really worked. This was the best kind of outcome that we've had. And we know this system works. We won quite a few games in the first half of the season. But it's just not happened for us in the second half of the campaign. Here is Malachi Sharp coming down the right-hand side. He's got support arriving in the penalty area. He goes alone. It's taken a huge deflection and Jed Steer making a simple save. It's nice to see us have a positive highlight, considering we've actually had more shots than Cheltenham today. That's the first proper attempt at goal that we've seen. Bayode with an opportunity from the corner to swing it into that near post, and I mean, it's not even beating the first man, is it? Tony plays it forward to Bayode, swings it to the far post. Malachi Sharp with a looping header, clips the crossbar, and it comes away. 5 minutes left in the game. Lemony Evans into Murray Home. Plays it into Bayode, now Lemony Evans, and it comes to nothing yet again. And it's hard to be positive. It really is. I mean, the game against Halifax, we did well to get the win, but they're a team that were in the relegation zone. And we've been thoroughly beaten today against Cheltenham. You did yourselves proud, is what my assistant manager wants me to say. Well, they didn't. I mean, yeah, we had a good number of attempts at goal, but I'm looking at some of the performances in that game. Dembele 6.1, Lindsay 6.1, Emerson a 6. It's not good enough. I mean, all of our wingers, incidentally, are actually out of contract at the end of the season. So there's a lot that, that some of these players are playing for their futures at the club as things stand. And yeah, not ideal. I think, to be honest, looking at the way the league table is at the minute, we're 8 points off the playoffs. I can't imagine anything's going to change. Realistically, I think it's just going to be a case of just get our way to the end of the season and then see what happens going into next season. So I think, to be honest, I'm not going to come back for the last couple of games of the season because I see little point as things stand. If we end up in a playoff fight, then yeah, we'll come back. But I'm looking at this form and thinking, yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? We'll get all the matches done and out of the way. If anything happens in terms of jobs or anything like that in the meantime, then obviously I'll come back and we'll have a look at everything. But other than that, I think, to be honest, we will see you next season. And there's going to be a lot of thinking to do. And yeah, we'll see what happens. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It's all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.